webinar from Franklin University, where you joined in to hear more about one of their programs. We are presenting today the Master Program in International Management and the Master in Responsible Arts Management. So you're going to hear about these programs in more detail from the staff members, as well as students we have lined up for you. So we're, of course, eager to hear from them. But before we go over to them, I would like to briefly explain to you a little bit how this session works and how you can interact with us, because we have different ways. And I will explain that a little bit to you. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. And first of all, of course, in the chat, we would like to hear from you where you're from. So you can interact with us. You can do that by saying maybe where you're from and possibly what program you're interested in. What else? We also have the option to answer questions, of course, to ask questions, which you can do through the panel called Questions at the bottom right. And we will be dealing with the questions at the end of the session. So then we will be answering them. For the people that are watching the recording, you can also write your questions, because I know these days a lot of people do that. They are watching it on demand whenever they have time. Also because I know there are a lot of people from different parts of the world that are signed up for this. So you can also still write your questions. Of course, we cannot answer them live. However, we can come back to you by email, because the questions will be sent through to the staff. What else we have for you? Well, we will open up a couple of polling questions throughout the session, so keep an eye out on that. And last but not least, a little fun factor, a little fun part as well. At the bottom of the screen, you see a React button, and there you can give us some reaction, anything of your liking. For example, that one, great. Yes, we like to get those just to see some more interaction with you. And anyway, without further ado, let's continue and start with the presentation, which will actually start with a little video. So enjoy this little video before we go over to the presenters. Great. I hope that already got you a little bit in the mood. And now we will continue with the introduction of the presenters. Hello, welcome to Tiana.
Thank you, Luke, for the great introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to wherever you are located at the moment. My name is Tiziana, and I'm Assistant Dean of Graduate Studies here at Franklin. It is a pleasure for me to be here today with my colleague Branko Zain, Dean of Innovation and Impact at Franklin, and Program Director of Graduate Studies, and also one of our outstanding students, Carmen. And we're here today to take you on a journey to learn more about our university and our master programs. So I'm just going to put the presentation on. Thank you very much, Luke. So here we are today and give you more details, information about our institution. So first of all, of course, we would like to start by introducing where we are located, Switzerland. And obviously, I'm sure you're here today to listen more about our university and our programs, and you are absolutely interested as well in getting to know more about our country. So why would you come to Switzerland and study here? And when you think about Switzerland, many will associate our country with probably Swiss chocolates, Swiss cheese and fondue, watches, but you might think about as well as a country neutrality and safety. And just think about Geneva is home to more than 750 NGOs and 100 representation from foreign states. And our country, Switzerland, we are also renowned for its banking and finance sector with over 240 different banks. And Lugano, our city, we are the third main banking center after the cities of Zurich and Geneva. And Switzerland has also been ranked as the most innovative country in the world. And let's not forget about the breathtaking Alps, which cover over 50% of the country, offering a wide variety of outdoor sports in all 4 seasons. So we have a quite small population, so it's only 8.5 million, these according to statistics in 2019. And we are one of the countries in Europe with the highest number of foreign residents, which count around 25% of the whole population. And we have the second highest life expectancy after Japan. So here you can see a bit of the map of our country. We are located here in the southwest part of Switzerland, southeast part, Lugano, in the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland, because there are 4 official languages here in our country. So German, French, Italian, and Romansh. And we're very close to big cities such as Milan. It's only 1 hour away by train and 2 hours away to Zurich. So it's really easy to get around the different big cities in Europe. And that's why many students as well, they want to come to study and live in Switzerland and take advantage to discover and explore the culture offered by European as a continent. So I'm going to pass the word to my colleague Branko, and he will be happy to give you more details about our university and the programs.
Thank you very much, Tiziana. So hello from me. I would like to talk to you about the Franklin University Switzerland key facts. This is the only university that is actually accredited by the Swiss authorities and at the same time is accredited by the United States authorities. And when I say authorities, I mean that the accrediting agencies report directly to the government of the country. So if you look around carefully, you will see that this is a unique fact, and we are very proud of being a university for the world, or being a global player in education, and being also recognized by the Ministry of Education in China as accredited university. So we are very international. We have this year on campus 61 nationalities between faculty and students and staff. We are very much an institution that is inclusive and that is very diverse. Our soul speaks liberal arts, humanities, and business education is seen as one of the social sciences with humanistic roots and with a purpose and a long-term perspective. So we really consider business as being part of the society and have to be also part of the solutions to the global problems and global tensions. Our programs are very much designed around these Sustainable Development Goals. That's the United Nations objectives for the world. So you will see, if you are familiar with that or curious about the Sustainable Development Goals, that there are 17 big goals, and each of them has a number of objectives that are very much defined and articulated. So here you can see the mission of Franklin University, Switzerland. And this is for us a very live set of statements. We live by them. They are not just written on paper, but this is really the guiding light for the whole university. So we are talking here about the cross-cultural and multinational learning. We are talking about the living environment that inspires students, and it's an engaging environment. We are talking about the critical thinkers, and we are talking about ethics and courage, because we think that leaders of tomorrow will need to be courageous, will need to be well educated, and will need to have a higher purpose. So we prepare students to become responsible, compassionate, and collaborative leaders. And this is what the world needs right now. So here we have the graduate programs in a very, very brief few slides. So I would like to draw your attention on the fact that we have two master's programs. The first one is Masters of Arts in Responsible Arts Management and Cultural Heritage. This works at the crossroad between arts management, and liberal arts. The second one, the Masters of Science in International Management, has two concentrations. The first one I would like to talk about is responsible management and climate action, and the second one is digital transformation. You can see some key facts at the bottom half of the slide. So you can see that it's taught in English. It's delivered in small class sizes, and mostly we run it as executive education model. That means that we will dedicate weeks or parts of the week to an in-depth seminar-style education, where you will be able to do, some, let's say, deep dive in certain areas and certain subjects about international management. And we will also ask you to do some preparation work and some post-course assignment. And this is how you complete the requirements for each of those courses. And the program actually starts at the second half of August and runs all the way through the end of June. And this applies to all the master programs. This slide is quite important because it tells you how these programs have been designed. We have a number of partners that are other institutions, businesses, some NGOs, and my colleague Tiziana will tell you more about who they are a little bit later in the presentation. But I want to stress on this slide the fact that our programs are not designed for their own sake. They're designed with you in mind. So you are looking for a master program, presumably because you want to do the next step, not just in your education, but also in your professional life. For some of you, might be the first professional experience, but for many of you, it will be a springboard for the next step in your career. So we have with us Carmen, who very kindly accepted to be here with us and support our message and illustrate to you all her experience in this program. She's active this year. She started in August last year. And please, Carmen, if you would like to share with us some of the perceptions and experiences that you've been through in the program so far.
Hi all. So my name is Carmen Broadnax. I come from the United States, and as you can see, I am in the master's program for responsible management and climate action. I am very happy. I really enjoyed this program. As Branko stated, I did start in August, where the beginning half is really engaging. So we have our full set of classes going immediately. It's a great experience. I would like to say that with my classmates, you will get the chance to have classes with some of the other majors. So you'll get to see them and interact with them. So you'll have different points of views, which is beautiful. And then from there, you'll go into your own specific classes for the course later on in the year. But interacting with them, getting to know your classmates all around, you're not going to be alone in the sense of as just in your major, you'll get to talk with the others. The experience has been great. We've had in-class activities that have been really engaging, and outside of class activities have been really engaging. Even outside of Lugano, we have ventured out together and had some really wonderful experiences as part of class and with the school. So that is great. Also, as a grad student, you're not completely separated in the sense from the undergrad students. You do get to interact with them as well because you are a part of the school. So any activities that they do, you get to do as well, and that is beautiful. For our later terms, it is broken down to more personal advancements. So you really get to focus in on your majors, not to spoil anything, but it's really interesting as we call experiential learning. So I highly recommend. I don't want to spoil anything, but you get to kind of curate some of the experiences that you want to have to further your education the way you want. And I have not found another school yet that lets me do that. Also, later on, for the climate action track, you'll get to take part in an internship. For us, right now, I'm going to be doing an internship with the UN that'll start essentially for me in May. So that's really wonderful. For the other programs, there are different opportunities as well that those emphases get to do. So I'm not sure which one. There's multiple options, so I'm not sure which ones they have gotten to do. But for the climate action one, you do have the option to do an internship with the UN. As far as being a student as well, living in Lugano, you can live on campus or off campus, and you have literally the whole city and the neighboring cities to choose from. There's plenty of places to be, and there's lots to do in the city. Every day, I've been walking. I've been getting my 10,000 steps a day, but you don't have to if you don't want to. There's the bus system, but I've been doing the walking. So there's lots to do, lots to see. The weather is great. The mosquitoes, they're there with you in the summer. But other than that, I cannot complain. It's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you very much. And I will be calling on you a little bit later to share more of your experiences with our audience. But I see very international today, and thank you for being with us. And I would like to invite you also to participate in the polls. I think there are 3 polls out there already. So if you would like to do that, you just click polls and you can participate. And this is going to be a great base also for the Q&A session later. So I can now continue with the here we are with some of the photos about the responsible management and climate action concentration. You see, these are the photos of the United Nations, the headquarters in Geneva. I know that the global headquarters are in New York, but in Geneva, there is a very, very important center with a lot of UN organizations very actively participating, not just to live decision making and policy making in Switzerland, but actually globally. So you will have the chance to work on UN-related projects and the projects that are also run and designed by the partners of UN and UNITAR. So here is a little bit of the outcomes that we have seen over the past years. For example, last year, the students that graduated in last summer worked on a number of projects with UN Habitat, the FAO, which is the Organization for Food and Agriculture, and as you can see on the slide, with many, many others. Some of those projects have actually grown beyond our master's program and have attracted also some funding from the UN organizations. And this means that the students that are actually working on those projects can even continue to the implementation stage of those projects and also gain some important experience in the form of internships and maybe some professional contracts, as it happens now and again. So this is a very privileged entry to the constellation of the UN-related organizations. So the second concentration that we are offering is in digital transformation. This concentration in these studies are very much about the application of digital technology in many different ways. It can go from cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, application of those technologies in more sustainable food systems, for example, in projects about climate justice and about social justice, in projects and studies, let's say, about efficiency and also ethics in management. So you will see a little bit later how this could also apply to the Master of Arts program, where the ethics management is a big topic and growing. So here you have some images of those applications, and our partner in these concentrations, in this concentration about digital transformation, is one of the leading consulting companies in the world. It's also our partner institution in Korea, and you know that Korea is one of the countries where the advances in digital technology are remarkable. So we can have access to some leading multinational companies like Samsung, LG, or also the Korean National Bank, and have some guest lectures by leading professors that are really pushing the boundaries of this field. So here you have some of the examples how you can benefit from this program, and you can get not just the master degree in international management with digital transformation concentration, but you can also get some technical certificates. And again, this applies to both master programs, because you will have the opportunity to take some special courses, either online or face-to-face in presence at Franklin, which are mainly given in the spring term. And my colleague Tiziana will tell you more about the program structure just in a minute. So the second master is the Master of Arts in Responsible Arts Management and Cultural Heritage. I got asked just a couple of days ago, what is this master really about? And this master, to be honest with you, is quite innovative in the sense that we are looking at arts management from a professional management perspective. So we are moving a little bit beyond what's been tradition so far, where maybe some artist is then asked to curate an exhibition in a museum, or to manage the whole museum as an organization, or maybe to they have the drive to open their own gallery in some way. But you see, all these posts and these kind of jobs require something beyond the knowledge of arts. They require the knowledge of management. And our, let's say, approach to management, as you might have understood by now, is quite innovative and looks for new solutions and new managerial models and new economic models. So we are not satisfied with the way management was performed so far, looking at the profits over the humans, looking at economic benefits over, let's say, social benefits. So we are building this, let's say, humanities perspective into the management. And this comes to life quite immediately and in a very clear manner when you talk about arts management and cultural management. But it happens also when you are talking about managing financial institutions, for example. You know, the shareholders are no longer satisfied with quarter-to-quarter performance and dividends. They know that there is more. They know that there is a higher purpose to business. And they know that business must be good at 360 degrees, must be good economically, must be good for the society, and must be good for the planet. And this is the approach that we are bringing in all the examples and applications on management. Here you have a little bit more, a little bit deeper information about the program that's been designed with the Bocconi University in Milan. And by the way, Milan is just 1 hour away from Lugano. And we have partner institutions both in Lugano, Switzerland, and in Ticino, and in Zurich, and in Geneva. But equally, we have partner institutions in Milan. So you will have plenty to learn in this program, and you will have plenty of opportunities to build your professional network, you know, in all these concentrations. So I hope that this has been a brief introduction with enough information. But now I would like to see if my colleague Tiziana is ready to talk to you about the program structure. And later I will be presenting to you also some opportunities for employability through our partners and through the institutions that work with us. So Tiziana, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Branko, for the great introduction to the programs, and Carmen for sharing your experience with Franklin and in Lugano. So talking about the program structure, as Branko mentioned before, our master programs are one-year programs, and we have two intakes, one in fall starting around the middle of August, and the spring around January time. So the program has in total 45 credits, and with different components to be completed during the 3 semesters, fall, spring, and summer. So during the fall semester, as you can see here, you have the responsible management component, which is a common core for all master students. So no matter in which concentration you are, either in Master of Science or Master of Arts. And there will be around 12 courses for international management. So you can see these are some of the courses that you'll be taking throughout the fall semester. So international management, managerial finance, but as well reporting with purpose, responsible sales strategies, etc. And during the spring semester, students, you will be building on your own study plan, which can include some hybrid learning, so online courses or in-class courses, company visits, conferences that we organize, but also scheduled by the students, career workshops, some guest lectures or seminars. And finally, during the last semester in summer, you'll be working on your final project. So you'll be required to take a 6 weeks internship. And as Carmen mentioned before, she will be doing a project, an internship with the UN in Geneva, and similar to what the other students in climate action will be doing as well. And if we want to see more in details for each program concentration, you can see here the program structure for each program concentration. So in the fall semester, as I mentioned before, you will be busy with the seminars and courses for responsible management. Whereas in the spring semester, you'll be doing and working on your own study plan. And for the summer semester, so for the climate action, we'll be mainly busy with the UN and different partners of the UN in different projects, depending on your own areas of interest. And for digital transformation, so the difference in summer, depending on, again, the field that they will be dealing, they might be working with Lugano. Why not? So with the city of Lugano, or they might be traveling to South Korea with our partner there, Assist University, and do a digital camp over there. And for the students in the Master of Arts program, so they will be traveling. Actually, our students, 4 of them this year, they will be traveling next in a couple of weeks' time at the beginning of May, and there will be 1 month in India. So from Mumbai to Bangalore, Jaipur, and New Delhi. And this is the program that I mentioned before by Branko in partnership with SDA Bocconi. So there will be something that we hopefully will continue next year as well after the pandemic outbreak we had for the last 2 years. And unfortunately, as you can see here, they were expected to travel to China as well, but for the current situation over there, is not possible. And hopefully next year, we'll be able to build some new destination for our students in the arts program. So my slides have been quite brief. I will pass it again back to Branko, who will talk briefly about the partners that we work with.
Thank you very much, Tiziana. So I don't know how many names on these slides you recognize. One for sure must be Google. Then there might be others, Unitar, Samsung, and so on. The importance here is to see how spread they are, both geographically, but also in terms of their purpose and their specialization. You see, we have some local partners like the MUSEC, which is Museo delle Culture in Lugano, which is a very interesting place. It's small by comparison with other arts, big arts museums in big cities. But the advantage of smaller institutions is that they can give you a more personalized treatment, and they can give you more space for your projects. But if you fancy a big museum, a big international stage like Milan, Florence, or even Zurich and Geneva, you can do that as well. And in addition to all these partners, and the slide is too small to mention all of them, you will have the opportunity to consider bringing your own connections and your own network to the program. So, for example, if you are, I see somebody in the chat from Uzbekistan, I see people from other places in Asia and so on. You can bring your contacts to the program, and we can establish a working protocol, maybe a working agreement with other institutions that are, open to such collaborations. Tiziana mentioned the boot camp in Korea for digital transformation. This year we were really one step away from organizing the trip to Korea. But they are experiencing, a quite severe third or fourth wave now of pandemic. Fortunately, it's receding right now, but we will have our Korean friends coming to Switzerland to do the boot camp here. So this is very, very good news. So I'm saying that just to give you the understanding that this program is very much alive, and it really shapes according to who comes on the program, because our purpose is not to preach because we think we have all the answers. We don't, but we have a very extensive network of professors that come to the university, that you will be having them and you will be experiencing them. We have a very extensive network of partners and friends, and we have a methodology that really focuses on getting the most out of this master's experience for each student. And I would like to maybe ask again Carmen to tell us a little bit about your experience collaborating maybe with the Unitar and with the organizers and with the head of Unitar, and maybe sharing a little bit what are the kind of projects that you are still designing for this summer in terms of practical experience and internships? Please.
Yes. So we have the wonderful opportunity to work with the director of Unitar, Jonas, and he is quite a wonderful person, very helpful, very insightful, and he's given us a lot of direction and insight. So for my project, there is the word. For my project, I'm in a group, and we are working on essentially bringing together AI, hydrogen production, and renewable energy. So essentially, we are kind of putting that all together, come up with a way to have potential hydrogen solutions that either exist or do not exist, be formulated using AI. I'm trying to condense it. It's a really big project, but we are looking to make it a smaller format for our 6 weeks. So right now, Jonas has been helping us really wrap our minds around how we want to do it, because we have several directions that we want to go. And we also have another mentor that helps us pretty much do the same thing, as in wrap things together. So we have multiple perspectives helping our group really narrow down exactly what we want to do and be able to implement it. So far it is going very well. It's been quite a challenge, which is great, and quite successful with our meetings as far as what we want to do. So each of us got to bring together an idea that we wanted and put it together. So this is the result of our collaboration. As far as getting to meet Jonas, he's come to the school. He actually gets to facilitate a course with us. So we've done that in the fall term. And then also we got to go visit Unitar and have a meeting with him there. It was quite the experience. And also within our collaborations, our group, the Climate Action Group, also got the chance to work with Open Geneva and do a host with the Geneva Trialogue this year. So that was really a great experience as well, which is in collaboration with Unitar. So wonderful experience. It's really beautiful to get to do that, because I did not know about that previously. And once joining, I learned that's something we can do and something we can participate in. So we got to host a roundtable during that, and 2 workshops.
Thank you very much, Carmen. That's wonderful. And as you have heard, at some point, students organize in interest groups, and we coordinate their interest and combine them with the priorities of UNITAR and other UN organizations to solve some of the life problems that they're working on. So this is very much hands-on and produces immediate impact to people, to other organizations, and in some way also to the economy. So I would like to very briefly talk about the employability, and I can start with the latest. At the end of last month, we got a wonderful news from one of the students that graduated last summer, and she has been selected among a very fierce let's say, competition as the project manager for climate action at the World Economic Forum. So I had a chat with her afterwards, and she was telling me everything she's responsible for. and it's really impressive. And we can organize, if you are interested to hearing from her directly, we can organize a briefer, shorter version of a webinar separately, so that you can ask her direct questions. How did she get there? But one of her statements was that she couldn't have done that without graduating at this master program. So this was very, very flattering, and it makes coming to work every morning very worthwhile. We have another student that graduated. He actually graduated in February this year, and already in February, at the end of February, he was offered a job as the consulting manager for the public transport network in Brussels, Belgium, which is also very high profile job, and he was really not expecting that. He was calling them and applying to be himself a consultant, and they selected him, and they said, why don't you manage all our consulting projects here for our underground network? Another example is a student that is working right now at the FAO, the Organization for Food and Agriculture, in their headquarters in Rome, and she's the head of the impact projects in FAO. And she then connected with some of our current students and encouraged them to present a project with in their initiative that is called Transfoodmation, and they are looking at transforming the food systems, the food chain from production to consumption in a most sustainable way. So you see that this is, and we had the head of the FAO at Franklin just 3 weeks ago, and he was running a whole seminar for 2 days and a half with our current students. And at the end of the second day, he gave a public presentation, and he was running a panel of experts, and he was talking about the Blue Peace Project, which is an initiative of the FAO and the Swiss government to manage the water resources for peace rather than conflict. Because you know that the water is a resource that is actually scarce, and we need to manage that resource through collaboration rather than conflict. So these are a handful of examples of employability, what our students end up doing after the graduation. And you see that those are the jobs that have a higher purpose, that goes beyond making enough financial gain, to pay the bills and to buy yourself the desired, let's say, products and services, but is actually, the purpose is of helping this place to become a better world, and this is very important to us. So with this, I would like to give the floor again to Tiziana, and I would like to encourage you to pose the questions in. You can tap questions and write the question down that we will be answering just in a minute. But please, Tiziana, if you could just highlight the admission requirements for these programs, that would be great, and then we can have the Q&A session and really answer any burning questions. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, Branko. I'm conscious of the time as well, so I would like to give you some brief information about the admission requirements. Should you be interested to proceed with the next step and apply to our programs. So you can see here the application documents required, and then there are some actually deadlines to be respected. Is actually mainly due to the visa processing time required for those who are not citizens of the European Union. So for students wishing to join us for the full semester, we require all the application process to be completed by June the 1st. And for the spring semester intake, the application deadline will be by October the 1st. And my colleague Sara Viani, she is the admission counselor for the graduate department. You can see her picture here on the left side. She's not here today, but I will be contacting you, and Sarah will be also get in touch with you to understand whether you like to schedule a one-to-one information session with us. We'll be happy to provide you with more details and answer any other questions you may have after the webinar today. And back to the slides before. So this is a bit of the information related to the tuition fees and other costs to be applied should you wish to join our master program. So you can see the tuition fee for all the master programs, the Master of Science and Master of Arts, is 25,000 Swiss francs per year. And you have the option to live on campus as well, or to rent an apartment in Lugano or near the campus. So this is what, for example, Carmen did for her period of time here. So there's the option to do it. And the health insurance is mandatory to stay here in Switzerland. You have as well the meal plan as an option. And the academic travel we mentioned before, for example, for those traveling to India or China, Italy, or the digital bootcamp for those traveling to South Korea. We do have scholarships available. So there are 2 available at the moment. And should you be interested, as I said, we'll be happy to contact you, and we can further discuss about the possibility and the procedure to apply for these scholarships. Great. So I think we reached to the end of the presentation. So we're happy to answer your questions now.
Great. Thank you very much, all of you, for your detailed presentations. Great to hear. And of course, I see already the audience has been interacting quite a bit. So that's great to see all these people joining in from different countries. So let's get started with the questions, just to make sure we can still answer some of those. For people that are watching the recording, by the way, you can still write questions. So you can still do that. We can, of course, not answer them now, but they will be sent through to the staff of Franklin University. So by all means, take advantage of that. And if by some reason we cannot answer any question some right now, also the same, they can still come back to you afterwards. All right, let's get started. Question from Francisca. Francisca, sorry, I'm doing my BAc in environmental education. And is that enough to apply for the master?
Maybe I can take this question. The BAc, the bachelor is actually enough to apply for a master program. So if you're doing a 3-year or 4-year bachelor, that would be sufficient as a main criterion to apply for this program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answered your question. Otherwise, let us know. Timur has a question. Do you accept students from Uzbekistan, and are there any scholarships for Uzbeki citizens?
I'm happy to answer these questions. So absolutely, we do accept students worldwide. So as you saw before, we have students from over 60 different nationalities. So we love to have more students from different countries. And the scholarships actually available for students outside the EU countries is the Net Positive Master Scholarship. So I'll be happy to send you, Timur, more details on that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Tiziana. And I get the thumbs up, so that's good. I guess that answered some of that question as well. Yamil is asking, is it possible to part online?
Okay, I can take this question. The program is designed to be taken in person. Of course, during the pandemic, we did a lot of online teaching, but the value is really the human interaction. So if you are not available for a course or two because you are traveling or you're busy with your project somewhere else, for example, we had a student now last month on a mission in Africa, and she was connecting from there for a seminar. So that's not a problem. But attending the whole program online, it's actually something that we would not recommend.
Okay, I hope that answered your question. Otherwise, let us know. Raquel is asking, does the Master in Management include digital transformation?
So correct. So there are two main master's programs. One is the Master of Science in International Management with two concentrations. So one in digital transformation and the other in responsible management and climate action.
Okay, thank you. Harris is asking, how can I bring context to the program? And also, how does the university teach well?
Okay, Harris, you can bring the contacts directly to us. So you can be the main link between the program and your contacts, of course. And then we can develop a working relationship and see what kind of protocol we have to serve. How does the university teach well? Our teaching is very much follows the model where we put the resources on the table, we put the contacts on the table, we put the topics. We have a number, I think there is more than a dozen professors that are experts in their field, and they are active in the area. So they are not teaching out of the book. They are teaching out of their experience. And they will bring the burning questions to the class. And those are the questions they are working on themselves. So it doesn't get more live and more applied than that. And this is our model. And as I mentioned earlier, we follow the executive education, let's say, protocol. So we dedicate a few days of very deep dive into each topic, where we discuss, those things in a relatively considerable depth.
Okay, thank you very much. Hope that answered that question. Next question from Irina. Do you have special conditions for Ukrainians this year?
So we actually discuss with each individual student for their specific needs and support required. So it's not there are no specific actually conditions just for different nationalities, but we do take into consideration each student's different demands and requests. So Irina, I'll be happy to send you an email, and then we can discuss maybe together one-to-one, understand what your needs could be.
Thank you very much. And Ekaterina is asking, how many students study on scholarships at your university?
That's a great question, Ekaterina. We actually have a very generous scholarship program, and we rather serve students in need, but we also recognize students for their leadership and their merit. So our scholarships are, let's say, up to from 5 to 20%, but we tend to serve more students by giving a little bit to everybody that qualifies. So there's a quite a great proportion of students studying on a scholarship between masters and undergraduate students.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Daniela is asking, do you have special or some scholarships for Latin American? I guess that's the same answer, Tiziana.
Correct, yes. So the scholarships are available, the requirements for the scholarship are the same for all nationalities, with the exception of the Responsible Leadership Scholarship. This one specifically is actually open only to EU citizens.
Okay, I saw in the chat also there was being asked the link to the scholarships. I don't know if you have a special link. You can put it in the chat. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, great.
I'll
And
share a
I
link.
will put the link to the programs, the general overview as well in a second. Meanwhile, question from Salkinai: what documents are required to apply to the Franklin University?
Great. So I will show you here the slide with the application documents required. So there will be a requirement for you to start application from our website, where you will need to attach these documents here mentioned: the personal statement, your resume, two recommendation, either from your previous university or current company, official transcripts, and evidence of English language proficiency if required, and a copy of your passport. Once we receive all the documents mentioned, we will schedule an interview for you with our program director, Branko Zain here.
Okay, thank you. That's great. I hope that takes care of that. Otherwise, let us know. In the meantime, I will share on the screen now also the link to the program overview. You will find it for both programs. You'll find it actually there. There you go. There's the link. And you'll find it for the both, as mentioned, the programs that were being presented today on that site. So you can click on it and at your own pace, have a look at it. Yeah, after this, because we're about to conclude this session. Also, I saw some people join late. This session is being recorded. So don't worry, you can still re-watch and replay it very soon, actually. So the moment we stop it, within a minute, it will restart. So you just can actually stay online and watch the bit from the start right away, which you might have missed. So hopefully that helps everyone. And let's see if there's any questions at this stage.
Luke,
I think those were the questions. Yeah, go ahead.
I think there was a second question from Francisca.
Sorry, yes.
And I would like to answer this. Is the focus more on the management or climate science?
Yes.
This is a management program. So has the emphasis on international management. And the climate science comes into place to some extent in the climate action program, but the focus is on management.
Okay, good point. Thank you very much for pointing that out. All right. And yeah, before people have to leave, and also the people that are watching the recording, we do like to hear your feedback. So we have opened up several polling questions throughout the session. For those who have already answered it, great. Thank you very much. And otherwise, thank you for participating and letting us know your feedback. That is appreciated. And I don't see any further questions at this stage. So that probably means we have answered most of them, and all is probably pretty much clear. So then slowly we will round off the session. And yeah, from my side, thanks everyone for having joined. First of all, of course, the audience that joined in from different parts of the world. We saw all kinds of countries joining in. I saw China, I saw people from Peru, Germany, Spain, Indonesia, Uzbekistan, Austria. Well, a lot. I forgot some, I'm sure. But thank you all for having joined. That is great to see. And of course, the presenters. Thank you very much, all three of you, for your time and your detailed explanations. Maybe a last word over from Franklin University. I don't know, Tiziana or Branko, would you like to provide the last words to the audience?
I would like to thank you as well again, all the audience who made it possible for us to be here today, and you, Luke, and your team for supporting us with this webinar today. I hope you got to learn a bit more about our institutional programs. And as I said before, we'll get in touch with you soon individually, and we're happy to meet with you one-to-one and give you more details as required. It has been a pleasure again.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Branko.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.